Good afternoon, fight fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are here with our very first channel preview of the upcoming light heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing. And just a quick update on where that is. It is in the final proofing process this weekend and set to go to the printers on Monday. And again, the turnaround time at the printers is usually around a week. So look for those to be going, or the printed set to be going on sale the week of August 10th. And we'll actually start pre-orders at some point next week. And then the PDFs will be available next Friday. So I'm excited to get this set released. And again, Glory Days Boxing at sidelinestrategy.com. It's a very fun set, I think. And I think it's going to be very enjoyable to play. A lot of great matchups to be had in this upcoming set. And today we're going to replay one of the great matchups from what I like to call the golden age of light heavyweights, and that's the 70s and 80s. And these two guys, Matthew Saad Muhammad, aka Matthew Franklin, and Alvaro Yaqui Lopez, actually did fight twice. Saad Muhammad won both fights, both brutal slugfests. He defeated Lopez by 11th round and 14th round TKO. Both fights are the light heavyweight championship of the world. What makes this fight fun for me? And hey again, Matt, welcome, and BR Wells, what's up? What makes this fight so fun for me is the traits. Both of these two very high action fighters, both have the slug it out trait. So on toe-to-toe, we are going to have 2 punches landed to each fighter's total, and should make for an entertaining fight for as long as it lasts. And again, these two had 2 wars in real life. I'm hoping they replicate that here. Matthew Saad Muhammad, one of my favorite fighters of that era, very tough and hard-hitting action fighter from Philly. Unfortunately, after his really got off to a great start, but after his 1981 defeat by Dwight Muhammad Qawi, TKO stoppage, he kind of just fell off a cliff. He ended up losing 7 of his last 9 fights, and over his last 22 fights, including that loss to Qawi, he went 8, 13, and 1. So the way he fought, it just wasn't conducive to a long and productive career. And sometimes when you take that first really severe beating, and he was in some wars before that, it just kind of takes it out of you. Just look at Pepino Cuevas and what happened to him after his knockout at the hands of Hearns. And Saad Muhammad actually had a tough life after boxing too. He was homeless for a point in time in 2010-11, and passed away at the age of 59, I believe, in 2014 or 15, but it was definitely 59 years old. Cause of death was not officially released, but he had been suffering from ALS, aka Lou Gehrig's disease. I'm not sure if his time in the ring led to that, but a very sad ending for him. So Gary M., welcome to the chat, or the fight as well. We're ready to go. So first look at our light heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing and what promises to be a fun fight. And we'll look at a couple of other cards after this fight, namely Maxie Rosenblum, who has a trait that has not appeared in the regular sets until now. Archie Moore, Roy Jones Jr., and the Spinks Jinx, Michael Spinks. So again, these two, golden age of light heavyweights, so many great fighters in that division then. Besides them, obviously Spinks, already mentioned Dwight Muhammad Qawi, James Scott, who fought out of Rahway Prison, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Just an exceptional time to be a boxing fan if you like this division. So we're ready to go. And in the red corner, Muhammad. In the blue corner, Lopez. And we are underway. And right out of the gate, we're going to get a toe-to-toe exchange from the outside. So those traits are going to kick in. 52, Saad Muhammad. He misses, though, and would have been, or is going to be, a potential knockdown if Lopez can score with a 3 on the blue dice. And 75, he misses as well. So both fighters come out throwing bombs, neither able to connect. And the fans are out of their seats looking forward to a great fight in this one. 2 stars from the inside. And again, another toe-to-toe exchange. Saad Muhammad goes first, 78. He misses, and Lopez again is going to have a knockdown chance if he can connect. 43 from the inside. He does a 1-2, and Lopez looking to turn the tables from the real-life fight. Chin check for Muhammad. And both these guys can be a little chinny. 15, and Saad Muhammad takes those punches, shakes them off. So this fight, throwing bombs early, both men, just what we had hoped for. From the outside, Saad Muhammad, 1 star. We're going to have another toe-to-toe exchange, and I forgot to actually add, 2 punches to Lopez for that trait. So yet another toe-to-toe exchange, and this is going to come from the outside again. Lopez this time goes first, and Lopez 0-2 with the adjustment. That's going to be an incredible 6 punches landed, so already 12 for Lopez. And Matthew Saad Muhammad, no knockdowns or cuts. He's got to get on the board here, and he misses, so he's in a huge hole early in this one. And the toe-to-toe adjustment for Lopez paying dividends. Here we go from the outside, Saad Muhammad. And finally, he takes control, 52, and 52, he's going to miss again. Possible counter for Lopez, and 4, he is just going to sneak in a cross and a hook. No adjustment, of course, to those. So Alvaro Yaqui Lopez building a big lead early in this one. And in case you're wondering, stamina-wise, starting the fight, Saad Muhammad with 85 and Lopez with 80. So here we go. Matthew Saad Muhammad again, 2 stars, and it's going to be another toe-to-toe from the inside, and Saad Muhammad goes first. He's going to clinch, and probably a good move, looking to collect his thoughts as Lopez out the gate fast in this one. And Matthew Saad Muhammad finally takes control, and 15 lands heavy lefts and rights. 4 punches land for Saad Muhammad. Defensive check for Lopez, takes them all. And neither fighter terribly defensively. Saad Muhammad a touch better. So they're going to either take away or give punches, about half and half for each fighter. 2 stars from the inside, Saad Muhammad, and he maintains control from the inside. A 3-punch combination lands, and 2. One of those is going to be blocked with a roll of 2 by Alvaro Yaqui Lopez, and Saad Muhammad coming back at the end of the round. I want to make sure I have the dice in the screen here. Sorry about that. All right, end of the round, 40 seconds to go, and 2 stars from the outside. Once again, Saad Muhammad in control, 33, and Lopez is rolling the low die. He's going to add 1 to the punches landed total, which is 3. So make that 4 for Matthew Saad Muhammad. 20 seconds to go. And Saad Muhammad has come back nicely in this first stanza. Both fighters in double figures punches landed. The action we had hoped for. And Lopez at the end of the round takes control from the inside. 81 is going to be a miss. Looking to counter. Saad Muhammad whips, and that is the end of the first round. So good action round. 12 punches to 10. And the way Lopez got out of the gate, it looked like this might be a runaway round for him. Instead, it's going to be close and go to the judges' cards, which could go either way with a less than 4-punch differential. All right, set to go for round number 2. Fighters back in their corners. Last minute instructions for Matthew Saad Muhammad from his corner, and here they go. 6s for both men, and we're going to start this round with another toe-to-toe exchange. Saad Muhammad, and actually Lopez had momentum at the end of the round, so he is going to go first. 0-9, and from the inside, that is going to be 6 punches landed with the 2-punch adjustment, and it's going to be a possible knockdown for Matthew Saad Muhammad should he be able to land. He steps into the pocket, lets the hands go, 87, and no, that's going to be a clinch. That'll take every one of those punches away from Lopez but 1. And round 2 underway. Dancing around from the outside is Saad Muhammad. Looks to dip inside, and he's going to take control from the inside. 16, lets the hands go in close, and that's going to be a 4-punch salvo, no defensive adjustment. Alvaro Lopez grabs, referee breaks, and I'm just using a generic referee and judges in this one, by the way. And once again, Saad Muhammad in control from the outside. He whiffs and no counter by Lopez. 2 minutes to go in the second round. Saad Muhammad using the jab to measure space and once again looks to move inside behind that jab. It's going to be another toe-to-toe exchange, but 84, Saad Muhammad grabs a clinch and that brings an end to the segment. So Saad Muhammad looking a little bit more cautious than most people are used to seeing him. He finally takes control from the inside though. 67 would have been a possible knockdown, but he misses, and missing on the counter is Lopez. So things have slowed down considerably. Both fighters, we thought this would be a slugfest. First started that way. Second, not developing so much. And inside, Alvaro Lopez takes control. He is going to miss. And counter shot from Saad Muhammad misses as well. Minute to go in the round. And the punch output this round has been incredibly low. No stars for Saad Muhammad and no stars for Alvaro Lopez. So toe-to-toe from the outside, and Yaqui goes first, 47. That is going to be a miss, and it's going to be a potential knockdown once again for Saad Muhammad if he can land with a roll of 3. And Matthew Saad Muhammad charges in behind a lead cross. 3 punches get through. We're going to have a chin check for Lopez, and remember, Lopez stopped twice in real life. 20, and he eats that no problem. Going to move back inside is Saad Muhammad, and he thinks better of that, dips to the outside, gets a star. Lopez ducks under a jab, and he takes control from the inside. 38 from the inside. That is going to be a 2-punch combination, and 2 on the defensive check. And Saad Muhammad is terrible defensively. I said he was a tad better. He's actually a tad worse. So he's going to add another punch to that. Final 20 seconds of the second round. This is definitely going to heat up as we get going. 1 star for Saad Muhammad, and he takes control from the outside. 56, he's going to miss. Looking to counters Lopez, he misses as well. That's the round. So after an exciting first round, punch output down significantly in the second. Only 7-4 in punches actually landed, but will be another close round, which the judges will have to decipher between the two, decide who they liked better. And the toe-to-toe trait for both fighters, the slug-it-out trait, was significant in round number 1, not so much in that round, where Saad Muhammad had most of the ring control overall. Round number 3, we're ready to go. And Saad Muhammad, 2 stars from the inside. He's going to start the round in control. 32, he dips in with a 3-punch combination. Lead cross started that off. And 3 by Lopez. He's going to add a punch to that. So defense, neither fighter's strong suit, making its rearing its ugly head, or lack of defense early in this one. And we're going to have a toe-to-toe exchange from the outside. Going first is Matthew Saad Muhammad. And again, the 2-punch adjustment, 0-7. That's going to be a total of 6 punches landed for Matthew Saad Muhammad and a possible knockdown. Lopez is going to get his crack first before we do the chin check, though. And no possible knockdown for Lopez. Lopez gets the hands going, and he's going to get credit for 5 punches landed. Chin check for Lopez now as a punishing right hand closed that flurry. He takes that, smiles, moves back inside. Fighters measuring each other for space, and 2 stars from the outside. Saad Muhammad, once again, he is in control. 34 from the outside, charges in behind that lead cross again. 3 punches landed and 6 on the defensive check. Lopez takes all of them. Referee separates the fighters now as they move back to the center of the ring, and it's going to be Saad Muhammad taking control from the inside, and he is going to miss. Would have been another possible knockdown, but countering is Lopez, and Lopez gets home a short jab and a cross, so 2 punches get home for him, and the pace is picking up here in round number 3. Still only halfway through the round, and both fighters looking to reach double digits again in punches landed. We're going to have Matthew Saad Muhammad taking control from the inside. 76 would have been a possible knockdown. Instead will be a miss, and missing on the counters Lopez. Down to 1 minute, 20 seconds to go, round number 3 of the scheduled 10-rounder. And Saad Muhammad from the inside, but Lopez beats him there, takes control, lets the hands go, 41, hook it across, connect, 2 punches land, and 3. Make that 3 punches landed as Saad Muhammad's terrible defense contributes to a little more carnage. Down to the final minute of round number 3. Saad Muhammad from the outside, but Lopez beats him inside again, gets under a jab, looks to take control, lets the hands go. 41, another 2-punch salvo lands, and Saad Muhammad is again going to add a punch to that, so make it 3. 40 seconds left in the third. Saad Muhammad falling asleep as the round goes on. He's got 2 stars from the outside, though, and regaining control. 13 from the outside, landing heavy lefts and rights. That's going to be 4 punches land and a possible cut. 13 is above Alvaro Lopez's cut range. Final 20 seconds of the round. And an exciting stanza here in the third. No stars from the inside for Saad Muhammad, and 1 star from the outside. Lopez in control. 32 is going to be a hook and across. 2 punches get through, and defensive check for Saad Muhammad. He takes them both, and that is a round. What a round. 17-15 in terms of punches landed. A slide edge for Saad Muhammad. And this thing is heated up here in the third, as many people had hoped for. As stamina going into the fourth will be 54 for Saad Muhammad and 46 for Yaqui Lopez. And it's going to be another close round, only a 2-punch differential. So we will see who the officials like in this. And we will probably have, as these rounds continue to remain close, some very across-the-board discrepancies. And D. Scott Howard has joined us at the auditorium here ringside. Welcome, my friend. A very exciting fight. Things are heating up. Round number 4 underway. Saad Muhammad comes out, takes control from the inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe, and Saad Muhammad goes first. 11, and again, the 2-punch addition, since they both have the slug-it-out trait. It's going to be 6 punches getting through for Saad Muhammad. No knockdowns or cut checks in this one, so whatever Lopez gets. 44 from the inside. He's going to fight back with 4 punches of his own. So round number 4 off to a very exciting start as 10 punches land between the 2 of them in that exchange. Saad Muhammad now loses control, and Lopez takes it from the inside. Lopez, 64. He's going to miss. Missing on the counter is Saad Muhammad. Now looking to get back on the inside is Saad Muhammad. He works in there, and he's got 2 stars, taking control. 21, charges in behind that lead cross. That lead cross has paid dividends for him today, and he's going to land, and Lopez takes them all. 2 minutes to go in the round. Looks like another high output round for Saad Muhammad. 4s for both fighters, and Saad Muhammad in control from the inside, and a 4-punch salvo lands. And no adjustment on the defensive check. So Muhammad taking control here from Lopez, and this is going to be another brutal fight. No cuts or bruises thus far. No knockdowns yet, and neither fighter's been hurt. 1 star from the outside for Saad Muhammad. Lopez wrestles him inside and lets the hands go as he takes control. 66, he is going to miss, and looking to counter is Saad Muhammad, and he gets through with a uppercut and a cross. 2 punches land. Minute 20 seconds to go in the round. And this round decisively thus far for Saad Muhammad, the first decisive round of the fight. And he remains in control from the inside. 31 from the inside. That's going to be another lead cross starting the 3-punch combination. All punches land as Lopez makes no adjustment. 1 minute to go in the round. Saad Muhammad, a convincing lead in points in this one, and would have been a possible knockdown, but he's going to lose. Actually, it's going to be toe-to-toe. So from the inside, Saad Muhammad goes first, 44. And again, the adjustment, that's going to end up being 4 punches landed and a possible knockdown for Saad Muhammad. And Lopez going to get a pound of flesh as well, and he's going to get credit for 4 punches as well. Chin check now for Yaqui Lopez. Has that thundering right hand. Let's see what can happen, and he shakes it off again. So Lopez absorbing some bombs in this one, and Saad Muhammad with 40 seconds to go is moving up on potential TKO territory. And another toe-to-toe exchange, so we're going to have punches added. Saad Muhammad goes first, 49. 4 more punches land, and that is going to be it. Actually, we'll give Lopez his shot. There would have been no knockdown chances, and he would actually, he could have rolled a clinch, so 78. That could have nullified the stoppage, but that is it. Fight is over. Accumulation of damage, and in those toe-to-toe exchanges, especially here in the 4th round, Matthew Saad Muhammad just took control and ate Lopez up. They traded punches, and by punishment, referee has seen enough. This fight is over. So the end to this one comes in 2:23 of round number 4. Your winner by technical knockout, Matthew Saad Muhammad. So this fight kind of went how I hoped and expected it to go. And again, when you have 2 fighters with the slug it out trade in there, it is going to be plenty of brutal exchanges. And that's really what pushed Saad Muhammad over the top with those additions, got him over 25 punches landed in the round, and was not using the optional rule where he has to survive a will check. So that'll be it. So in real life, Lopez lasted to the 11th and the 14th round before Saad Muhammad stopped him. Here, he swarms him in the 4th and gets him out of there. So an early stoppage for Matthew Saad Muhammad, and that is our first look at the light heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing. And we're going to take a look at a couple of other cards. And these are, again, not the print cards, the testing cards I use, which are just on paper. Of course, print cards on 130-pound card stock, much more durable. So one trait that was really hasn't made it to the official fighter sets, it was in the tomato can free download, is a trait that really hasn't been relevant until now, but with this guy. So Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum, who is a prodigious light heavyweight, to say the least, champion of the world, exceptional boxer. But as you can see, he had a record of 207, 39, and 26, only 19 stoppages. Slapsy, it was kind of a dual nickname. One, related to his personality, which was somewhat goofy, and 2, definitely summed up his punching power, which was pretty much non-existent. So let's talk about this trait, feather-fisted. -2 from opponent's chin KD if KD knockdown chance occurs. So 1, of course, is the lowest you can go for power. So in any given segment, a fighter basically has a 5% chance with a power of 1. If he lands punches, a 5% chance to get a potential knockdown, which is good for most light hitters. But Rosenblum, who had an exorbitant number of fights, his knockout percentage, I probably should have added this up before, sorry. So in 272 fights, he had 19 knockouts. So that is a knockout percentage rounded up of 7%, which is amongst the lowest, definitely the lowest of anybody with that many fights in history. So that one in itself, he's going to have a much greater chance of scoring a knockdown without the feather-fisted trait, which, again, was only intended for tomato cans. And I don't know of many other fighters that come to my mind right away that would get this trait, but definitely worthy with Rosenblum. So if he'd been fighting Matthew Saad Muhammad, and again, Saad Muhammad, especially later in his career, was a little chinny. You could stun him, knock him down, and you see he has, especially for a fighter of his caliber, a world champion, higher chin ratings for a knockout. So in the case of these two fighting, if Rosenblum did roll a 1, you would roll a chin check off of Saad Muhammad. His chin KD rating would also become a 1 instead of a 3, because it's very unlikely that Rosenblum would have dropped Matthew Saad Muhammad. So that's how that comes into play, and that's just to make sure, again, the traits usually come into play to try and enhance the realism of the game, capture a specific nuance of a fighter, or in the case of some of the traits, just to even things out. An example of that is the front runner trait, where some fighters may be a little more susceptible to knockouts, but those knockouts were incurred against better fighters in the division. So, look at a gatekeeper type who could beat most of the marginal fighters and definitely beat some of all of the lesser fighters, but never could take that final step because they'd get caught, knocked out, stopped. So that particular trait is to prevent those fighters, chin check trait, meaning you'd have to have 3 power to knock that fighter down. It stops those fighters from getting dropped by lesser opponents and getting a fluke knockout. So again, most of you know how the traits interact in the game, but that's just kind of a description of the 3 different scenarios traits would come into play. So that's Maxie. Spinks Jinx, Michael Spinks, take a look at his card. And okay, yeah, on that, Matt, we could still, that's only meant to influence actual knockdowns. So you could still hurt him. So in that case, it would only affect the actual KD rating. So Saad Muhammad would go to a 1-6. So Rosenblum could still hurt him, stun him, but just couldn't drop him in that scenario. Michael Spinks, great light heavyweight. And of course, his sole defeat came after he stepped up to heavyweight, a stoppage, a very quick stoppage, of course, at the hands of Iron Mike Tyson. And his heavyweight card, which I released a free version of, reflects the lesser chin against heavyweights. But against light heavyweights, his chin was extremely reliable. 2 to knock down, 4 to hurt, and a 1 when he was fresh to knock him out. He did not get knocked out, obviously, as a light heavyweight, and was very durable again in that weight class. His trait, sniper trait, which fits in Spinks, a very long, rangy fighter, taller than his brother, who, of course, fought as a heavyweight. Leon, more of an inside fighter. Spinks did a great job at controlling space, had an excellent trip hammer type jab, and then, of course, that right hand, nicknamed the Spinks Jinx, was absolutely lethal. So that accounts for the sniper trait, where you cannot block his outside punches. So let's see how that factors into a fighter like Roy Jones Jr., who is a defensive whiz. So Jones Jr., and again, not the greatest of the light heavyweights, but he's very close. Probably had a little better success as did have a little better success as a super middleweight, which I'm not carding any of the junior weight classes. So still very competent defensive whiz. He blocks punches 1 to 7, and you're going to add a punch block to that. So against a fighter like Saad Muhammad, that trait could be huge in negating Saad Muhammad, especially on the inside where he is good. Against Spinks, it's not going to help when they're outside. Jones will not be able to block Spinks' punches. So that will definitely be something that would tilt the scales in Spinks' favor should they fight. So the final one, and this is a fight, I'll do this fight, I'll get this fight up tomorrow. And this will be Archie Moore, the old mongoose, against Roy Jones Jr. So I wanted to showcase a couple of sluggers today, and tomorrow we'll showcase these two, who are, of course, great defensive fighters, each of them with the defensive whiz trait, both very solid technical fighters, and Archie Moore, arguably the greatest light heavyweight of all time. You definitely really can't get him out of the top 3, and you can make an argument for him against anybody. Other fighters in that mix, Gene Tunney would be up there. You could actually put Michael Spinks in that argument as a top 5 as well. But Archie Moore, I would definitely rank him 1 or 2 all time. I think he is in that spot in most people's rankings. So breaking down this fight, Moore, he's got the advantage. Jones has the, of course, 9 stars. Moore is one of those rare fighters that is a 10-star fighter, meaning he has an extra star in one of his areas of proficiency, which for him is the outside. And that will make a difference in this fight. Now, they're both of their defensive traits will come into play. Their defense actually is the same on both cards. So on 1 to 4 on blocks, it would become a -2. On 5 to 7 it would become a -3. Somebody asked me why I separated that trait out. And again, I have a set formula for the defense for fighters. So the trait, even though I could have just put -2 and -3, I wanted to keep a similar pattern for all the ratings on fighters, especially when it came to defense, counters, and of course fouls and cuts, with things varying a little bit by the fighter. The defensive whiz trait, I wanted the trait to actually mean something and stand out. So that's why it's rated that way instead of just being added to the card, if that makes sense. Really probably wouldn't make much of a difference either way. Again, that's kind of just a design preference I had. So matching these two up, Jones, very consistent. He's a rare fighter that was equally effective, especially at the heavier weight class, inside and out, which is why his numbers are balanced. And Archie Moore, very effective in both areas as well, a little more effective controlling space from the outside. So he's going to have a little bit of an advantage in accuracy. Power, Moore as a light heavyweight was an extremely hard hitter. Not so much. He fought quite a few heavyweights. He didn't carry that power up there, but remember he did get to Rocky Marciano, so he still maintained some of that power at the heavier weight class. So power edge to Moore, chin edge. Both fighters fairly even, tougher to knock down. Jones a little bit easier to hurt. When they did go down, probably a little bit easier than most top-level fighters to keep there, but that's not significant. A top-level fighter there with a solid chin would be a 2 or a 3. These guys are a 4 for knockouts. So stamina-wise, edge to Archie Moore. And counter-wise, definite edge to Archie Moore, who is an exceptional counter-puncher. So that'll be our matchup tomorrow. Very technical matchup. And Paul Gauvier has joined us. Welcome, my friend. And thank you for accepting me to the Roberto Chiaverini Facebook page as well. Looking forward to checking out some of his games. So that's it. So a preview of our a few cards in this set. And, of course, the Saad Muhammad Yaqui Lopez fight, which once again ended with a 4th round TKO for Matthew Saad Muhammad. So as in real life, he stopped him inside of the distance, which he did twice in championship fights in real life. So that's going to be it for our preview. We will be back with, the slug it out. My favorite trait is probably the slug it out because I like action fights, and definitely outside of the 2nd round of this fight where things slowed down, it definitely led to some excitement in the 3rd and 4th rounds. In the 1st round too, where both fighters were also in double figures with punches landed. The old master trait is another one of my favorites, and that trait really really Archie Moore, he could have got that trait as well. The old master trait comes into play. And it really, I use it to try and capture that ability of fighters in toe-to-toe exchanges to subtle things like that head movement or tying a fighter up like Jack Johnson, who has that trait, had, where they get their punches off, they take a couple and then negate the final punch from their opponent that normally would have landed. And, it doesn't seem like much, but little things like that, might add up to 7, 8, 9 punches over the course of a fight, which could swing around here and there. So counterpoint trait, and that's another rare trait. Moore could have had that trait as well because he was an exceptional counterpuncher. I went back and forth with Moore. I almost gave him the old master trait, but I really wanted to highlight his defense, which was definitely not underrated or underappreciated, but I just wanted that to pop a little bit more. And I figure that defense will kind of serve the same purpose of the old master trait when his opponent has control. So that was the reason I finally settled on that. So that's it. Hey, appreciate you guys stopping by. Once again, acknowledging everyone in the chat that said hi. Steeler fan 1933 Matt. And Matt, of course, is become a very valued contributor to the Glory Days boxing community, which I thank him for. B.R. Wells and Gary M., D. Scott Howard. Appreciate you guys all stopping in and saying hi, and Paul Govier as well. Thank you very much. So we will see you tomorrow with the Roy Jones Jr. Archie Moore fight, and that should be a fun one. And this is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming saying goodbye from ringside. And until next time, keep rolling for that knockout. Hope you all have a great day. Take care, everyone.